It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day and Walkabout Wednesday in my garden. Now, it is the very 1st of March here in Chula Vista, California, and we've got a storm blowing in. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it was like sunny a half an hour ago, and now it's all cloudy and kind of windy, and Greg and I can't wait to sit inside and just watch the rain. Anywho, I wanted to give you an update on the garden and how it's looking. And as I was walking around the corner to start this video, it occurred to me that this cactus is in the wrong pot. This pot's too big for this cactus, isn't it? It needs to be in a squattier pot. So, you know, I've had this cactus in this pot for probably a year, and it just now occurred to me that it's in the wrong pot. So that's something we can do together, right? Not today, but I'll take you on the journey when I figure out a better pot for this, and we'll swap some things out, and you can see what a difference the right plant in the right pot can really make. So there's that. Also, looks like I've got a little bit of weeding to do. It never ends, does it? And we took down the pergola, the little arbor that was over Bentley's toilet, because it was super cheap and it started to get all rusty and it kept blowing over, and my poor pink jasmine, I'm just like being decimated. Every time that thing fell over, it yanked the plant in the pot with it. So I'm on the hunt for a new arbor that's got a little more meat to it. The pink jasmine, I'm just going to keep trimmed as needed until I have support for it. The gutters are looking really, really great. I tucked in some new plants before we went up to the ranch right at the end of 2020. So, you know, as per usual, these need very, very little attention. My Pilosocereus azurus is fabulous. All the cactus, the millii in this pot, you know, that have the little whale's tail, the little crest on it. Super happy over here. Ew, look at this. This, I think, Trichocereus, this is not happy. Look, all of my new little ones have turned brown. I've got browning here and here. This browning here, I think this might have a viral or bacterial infection because it's definitely not sunburn. So this is something that we are going to keep our eyes on, and this plant may just end up going to Jesus. And we may have solved the issue of what pot to put that cactus in. Mine's a churnin'. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Ooh! Oh! Here is my fabulous Haworthia cooperi that we planted together the other night. Thank you all for your comments. Most of you loved the fire glass. Some of you didn't. And that's great. It was really interesting, though, to hear your opinions and get your feedback. So I really, really thank you for that. This is, you know, kind of the love of my life right now, too. My Euphorbia obesa, my pincushion. Look at that. I try to keep it tucked way back here to protect it from basically everything in order to keep it as perfect as possible. My Echeveria Sea Dragon is just doing amazing things and is just so happy and cute in this pot. This is a little Aeonium sunburst that I literally set there while I was grooming this pot over here. And it just rooted and took off. So I'm just going to let that ride. This is insane because this is Bougainvillea in this pot. I know it looks crappy right now, but that's because of the time of year. It doesn't really do, the boogies don't do too much here in the cooler months. It's going to leaf out, but I've been fertilizing it, and that's why these succulents under here look like they're on steroids, because they are. Okay, yes, my grapefruit tree starting to throw off some buds. I absolutely adore the smell of citrus. It's my favorite thing. And my Graptosedum or Graptopetalum ghosties that I've taken literally dozens and dozens and dozens of rosettes off of are still lively in that pot and looking superb. I am so pissed I had 6 Satsumi mandarins on my tree that I have been looking at and throwing good vibes at for the better part of a year. They were orange, they were gorgeous. I kept coming out to test them for ripeness. Came out the other day and they were gone. All of them. So possum, rat, whatever, stole my citrus. Please let me know if that has ever happened to you, because I need support right now. My Agave Sun Gold is just stunning. It was about a third of this size when I planted it in this spot, and it is just absolutely thrilling me here. This Aloe Hercules, we've talked about this before. Decisions are going to have to be made at some point because it is getting really, really big. I still love it here, but at some point, I don't know, maybe we'll have a contest or something. I don't know how in the world will I ever get this to you. Ugh, I don't know. Probably end up giving it to a client. What are you pointing at, Greg? Oh, the Agave attenuata is, yeah, the foxtail is giant too. But that's okay because this is kind of a tricky corner back here. I've got the Bougainvillea that also kind of looks crappy right now because it's cold and its leaves are barely holding on. And then I've got the Synodenium grantii back there that is also not looking its best. So this really draws the eye to this back corner and is so helpful when the plants behind it aren't looking their best. It gives the eye something to look at. This little area here around the pond is so fun because I'm forever and always popping in cuttings, popping in little extras, little project leftovers. And so it always looks so tight and so cute, because, I don't just, I know that I'm going to have to move things around and I'm going to have to, pull things out and put things in. Example, oh, this is the arrangement that Griffin made for Greg. The succulent baby made this for Greg last week, in honor of American Heart Month. It's so cute, isn't it? Anywho, I wanted to show you these cuttings. This is an example. These were just some things that were left over when we redid the arrangement, my big hill at Waterwise Botanicals. The Echeveria Ruby, Harmsey Eye Ruby Slippers. This is one of my favorites. So, I grabbed a few odds and ends that were on the ground, and these are the type of things that I tuck in around the pond, or I tuck into the gutters or to a pot. So, always be on the lookout for that kind of thing. The Bougainvillea against the wall right now, again, not looking great, because it's not the right time of year. But the things that I have underplanted are looking pretty good. The jades will be turning yellow here pretty soon, and the aeoniums are all waking up and looking great. The topsy-turvy planter has held on. This aeonium here, if you want to get in here, Greg, this is about to bloom. And I can tell that because the leaves are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that's going to bloom out, which is fine. I can pop another one in its place. I'm not going to worry about that. But yeah, all in all, this is another arrangement where I might tuck in a cutting from time to time. Look at that sad Aloe Cameroni in the back corner back there. What a perfect place for an aloe tree. That came out of a client's garden. They were over it. It's just sitting back there in the corner. It's not in a pot because I didn't have a pot to put it in, but maybe that's another idea if I take out that cactus out of that big red pot. Yeah, there's a couple of options, but I'm losing it, and I really don't want to because I love that, and I want to save it. One of you lovely followers asked too in a video, the last Walkabout Wednesday, you wanted to know what happened to the hanging basket that was over by the gutters. I had hung it right here. on one of the arms of this Bougainvillea. Oh my gosh, yeah. You know, I know this just looks absolutely wretched, but there's nothing wrong with this plant. It just desperately needs to go into a pot. I will save this. You will see. All will be well. Okay, now some housekeeping for all of you with OCD right now is to clean your jades. They bloomed beautifully this winter, but now they're done. And no, you do not have to come out here and pick off all of these spent blooms. Eventually they'll fall off. But if you're anything like me, I can't stand it. It just looks ratty and run-amucky. So I will spend probably an hour at some point before we meet again cleaning all of the spent blooms off of all of my jades. Oh, goodness gracious, look at the fountain. Our succulent fountain, also looking good. Now, remember last year, too, I cut back the Calico Kitten really hard because it was looking dead and ratty. And frankly, you know, it's still looking a little dead and ratty. I also cut back the string of pearls really, really hard, like to nubs, to see if they would make a comeback. And they are a little, I don't hate this, right? I mean, they're not prolific, but I'm starting to see some action. Now, the question is going to be, are they going to make a comeback and be happy and look good long enough before the summer comes and scorches and torches them again? So, you know, how long the string of pearls will be welcome in the succulent fountain is going to remain to be seen. This is an experiment. We'll see how things go this year. But it looks like this fountain, which I haven't touched in terms of maintenance since literally last year, needs me. I mean, there's just a lot of, and also something you can do if you don't have the budget to buy plants, or, you know, or you just don't feel like going to the nursery, you can always spend days just working with what you've got. And honestly, I could literally spend a day out here in this area just cleaning up, just pulling dead leaves, cleaning up detritus, checking for bugs and diseases, doing some resetting. I could tear this whole thing apart. Like this top tier here is not looking great. You want to get in on that, Greg? Let them see just how icky this is. I mean, yuck. You can see dirt. And it's all root bound. And it just looks really, really bad. So this needs help. I need to pull all of this out, cut it up, maybe add new soil, and just reset some things, but especially before the weather warms up and these plants start to get a little bit stressed out. This is, I'm just going to die now, right here, because what I have is a blooming citrus and freesia. And between the two, I am transported into another dimension. A dimension of the most fabulous smelling things in the entire universe. Oh God, there's nothing like scent to really just turn your day around. The raised bed is looking awesome. I don't really see anything that I need to do in here right now. I did add this variegated aloe. This was just this orphan. I don't remember where it came from, but I found it and I grabbed it, and it is starting to throw off some new little roots right there. See those yellow things? Those are roots. So I will do a better job of planting this so it'll have a chance, because I think that variegation is pretty spectacular. Then underneath here, you know, here is an Aloe Cameroni Eye. This is a yeah, just look, it's not doing anything yet. This is a cutting that I just tossed back here. I don't remember why, but boy, doesn't that look good? And it's really starting to turn red from the stress of not having any roots. loving that. This shell arrangement is completely run amok. This will be a good project for us to tackle one day. See how leggy and etiolated the plants are? This looked super cute when we did it, and now it doesn't. So it's time to work that out again. Oh, look, more hours of time to spend just picking spent blooms off of my Crassula. Oh gosh, I love this. This is just the most gratifying feeling. And when I get this done, it's gonna look so good. These gutters also, haven't touched them in months. They are looking fantastic. Thank you everybody that sent me pictures of your gutters, that has DM'd me. You can follow me if you don't. I'm on Instagram at Laura Loves Succulents. And I would love to see some of your succulent projects. So don't hesitate to slide into my DMs. So here in the front yard, the little cactus that could, I don't know, guys. I'm getting discouraged. I'm losing patience. It's I think I'm going to move that to the Garden of Death. And at the first opportunity, I'm going to pop a new Echinocactus grusonii in there. I know I can hear you all applauding, but you have to say, you know, I tried. I've given that, you know, a year or more to come out of it, and it's just not happening. The Aluaudia procera, you see all these yellow leaves and bare branches. This is also typical of this time of year. When the nighttime temperatures drop below about 50, we can expect our Aluaudias to start to go dormant. However, this is what you call semi-dormancy, because some of it's lively and some of it isn't. So I can water this now, knowing that it's awake, and probably turn the ship around. So that's what I will do. Well, no, maybe the rain will do it for me. But some water on this plant right now, it'll really green up fast. The Aeonium stand still looks amazing. This is something that at some point, probably over the next 1 or 2 years, is going to go, because these are going to start blooming out and the stand is going to get thinner and thinner and thinner. But for now, I mean, this has been here for years and it still looks great. So I'm just going to let that ride. Another thing for all of you to look forward to, you know, I've been talking recently in Walkabout Wednesday about redoing these flanks in front of the courtyard, and you've given me some really great ideas. Thank you. It's all still just forming in my head. I haven't made any decisions about what I'm going to do here yet, and I'm waiting for inspiration. Remember these flanking pots? I swapped them. This one that was on steroids was on this side, and then this one that wasn't really doing a whole lot was on this side. So, you know, I don't really see any results yet from moving them in terms of this one getting its legs. But hey, patience, right? Patience. My Pachypodium gayi, you can see that the leaves are pretty much fallen off. Typical for this time of year. No worries. Here's an interesting little thing to look at. This is an Agave Blue Glow. This is the Agave Sun Glow, like the one that I have in the backyard. So you can kind of see them next to each other. And I know what you're thinking. What is that amazing plant in the corner right there that's variegated yellow and green? That's a euphorbia. I don't remember the type, but I'm going to find out, and we're going to do a video about that. Client gave me that plant via Hannah. Hannah left it in her apartment for like 2 weeks, and some of the leaves dropped off, so it was a little dicey. I've got it over here in its original can, acclimating. But once I feel like it's, you know, it's fine, it's healthy, it's not going to drop any more leaves, we'll find a perfect pot. Hint, hint, Susan Ock, and talk about what it is and look for a way to really showcase it. The Echeveria Embrocota is looking lively. This has gotten much bigger. Remember, I took this off of a project from a giant stand because I didn't have any Embrocota at all in my yard anymore. It was about a quarter this size. And it has one one baby. One baby. This is a beautiful Echeveria that tends to grow in a clump, almost like it's like a hen and chicks. So I'm waiting for that. Our head planter looks absolutely gross. So this is another thing that you and I can tackle together and replant at some point. I have got some canned plants here for a project we're going to be doing. That's why those are there. What else can we talk about? Oh, the clamshell that we planted out together is looking really great. And, oh yeah, this is a variegated Crassula ovata. And it got a little beat up when we had hail a few weeks ago. But what I'm curious about is if this is going to retain its variegation. So I'm going to be cutting this up and popping it into my gutters and stuff and just kind of watching it over the next few months to see if it stays yellow. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't have much more to add. We're going to get inside before the rain starts falling. I love y'all so much. Thanks for joining me on Walkabout Wednesday, and we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.